And there you are. So we are ready to go. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat and we will be addressing them at the end of today's presentation. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie and I work for an organization called Cyber Seniors that basically help older adults understanding technology a little bit better. And today we are going to discuss a topic that is kind of a cliche and is DuckDuckGo. Most of us have navigated at some point with Google, and this seems to be the common standard, but we are going to expand your mind a little bit about options that you can use to avoid tracking online, which is something, whether we like it or not, Google does. And let me just go over my presentation so we can start. Just give me a second here. And for those of you who have your camera on, please show your thumbs up or use the reactions option from the more menu at the top right corner of your screen in your iPad to let me know that you can actually see. So just 1 second here and we can start. Thank you for the person that showed the thumbs up. I'm not sharing yet, but I will be there soon. All right, so here we have the actual slides. So who can see that? Use your thumbs up now to actually see. Can you see the title? Awesome, wonderful, great. Okay, so you can see the title. And as Teresa introduced me to, we are going to discuss DuckDuckGo. And this is considered a private and simplified online navigation option that you should check out just to have a sense how it works. And moving forward, so we are going to cover 4 main things here. We are going to see a little bit of background about DuckDuckGo, pros and cons of using DuckDuckGo, pros and cons of using Google, and why should you use DuckDuckGo instead of Google or even consider the application. This doesn't mean to push you into DuckDuckGo. It's just more information so you can take an informed decision when you decide changing from that search engine. So this is the motto of DuckDuckGo, same internet, more privacy. The mission of the search engine is to show the world that protecting privacy is straightforward and easy. For over a decade, they have created new technologies and work with policymakers to make online privacy simple and, of course, accessible to everybody who uses the internet. A little bit about the background of DuckDuckGo. Has been around since 2008 and expanded on what they protect, no matter where on the internet users are. And here's a little bit about their timeline, which is nevertheless that how they've been progressing in terms of that internet privacy goal. In March 15, 2010, they decided to make the bold move of not tracking user search history, which is very, unnormal, if you will, because most of the search engines that are out there actually base a lot of what they do in tracking search history. In May 19, 2014, they launched a redesigned search engine with a refined look and a focus on much smarter questions and answers. And in September 17, 2014, Apple, which is the brand of the device you were given or you probably have, the iPad, begins including DuckDuckGo in Safari, which is the main browser or the default browser you have in your iPad or iPhones, with the launch of iOS 8 and the operating system X Yosemite. Privacy beyond search. So on January 23, 2018, they extended privacy protection beyond the search box by also launching a mobile application. What this means is that you can also download the application and take a look at it before you actually decide to go totally for DuckDuckGo. There is also the possibility to include browser extensions if you own a desktop or maybe a laptop and you navigate mainly in that larger device, you can add a browser extension to navigate online. They have conducted so far 1 million monthly searches. By the year 2019, DuckDuckGo had that record of 1 billion searches that month for the first time. A month for the first time, sorry. Now we are going to move to a little bit more serious stuff. This is the pros and cons of using Google. And DuckDuckGo is one of Google's more compelling or challenging competitors. This is especially true for those users who hold privacy as a critical component in deciding which search engine is best for them. Similarly, DuckDuckGo has plenty to offer searchers in addition to its increased privacy protections. So the pros of Google, because we cannot talk about cons without actually saying what is good about Google. So Google, of course, is a superstar brand that has been in the thick of search since its actual inception. It has pushed to new highs anytime it can be, and before all the competitors in the market. Also, something very outstanding about Google is that it has the largest search index, which means you will see plenty of resources because it has the most innovative search engine algorithm, as well as the most expensive portfolio or free tools that all fit right inside the search engine. Some of these tools are Gmail, right, which is the electronic mail, or Google Calendar, also Google Drive. You also have Google Meet, Google Files. So there is a lot of tools encompassed in that universe of Google. And that is why it makes it such a great brand. In the other side of the spectrum, we have the cons of Google, and it has the largest network. Also, that means having the largest ad, which is marketing network. That is thanks to the compile from the users and their behavior online. Google treats personalization as a benefit to the user, but that's also achieved through data collection, which is mainly the problem why people sometimes don't want to use Google, because that is the mist of creating profiles for users and giving them options or picking for them options without giving too much a space for real choosing from the user, if you will. It constantly tests features and changes, big and small, to try and get an idea what really works best. As a result, sometimes when Google modifies things, it is with a lack of common sense in features, leading to adjustments that are not always seeking the best user experience, but also is more convenient for the company. In trying to provide its best and often auto-generate information, such as quick answers for simple questions, Google can pull incorrect information that still shows that computers can't always outsmart humans. And we are going to move to the pros and cons of using DuckDuckGo. So you can actually compare the previous information with this one now. And to base our presentation, privacy is a word that you will see quite often. This is the staple of his foundation. DuckDuckGo preaches his desire not to track any information of his users or their searches, and prides itself on offering the most private search engine on the market these days. It's very easy to use, it's clean or has a clean interface, a simpler user experience, which means that when you go there, you will see less marketing and it will be mostly the search bar that you see. We will get the chance to explore a little bit after we go over the slides, so you have a sense of how that actually looks like. So this user experience make using the platform a somewhat unique search experience. If you are already used to work with Microsoft Edge or Google, you will notice the difference immediately. Usability seems to be a primary focus, and it shows. However, it's also aesthetically pleasing while following other search engine basic concepts and layout. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to operate Microsoft Edge, for example, but sometimes it's very convoluted. The page, you will have news feed, you will have a lot of suggestions about things you should read, and sometimes even pop-ups about social media. Growing in popularity, more users these days represent more profit, of course, for the organization, and this means creating more resources to carry his privacy core value and become a much greater search engine. We have also concept DuckDuckGo. Doesn't have the resources of big, long-standing search engines such as Google, but it's pretty much getting more every year. So just by 2018, they received around $10 million for the goals they do, which is very nice because that will reflect in how they take care of their users too, to avoid that taking of information. Tiny search market share. So DuckDuckGo only own 0.22% of the total search market share in 2017. This is less than Ask, Yandex, Baidu, and all three major players in the United States, such as Google, Bing, and Yahoo. And features, ideas, and practices of DuckDuckGo, of course, in certain way are shadowing Google for the most part, including doing the opposite of what Google is doing in terms of privacy. So Google is the extreme of acquire tons of data. DuckDuckGo is in the other stream of not getting any data when you obtain the results online. And why should you consider using DuckDuckGo? So we are gonna move to the good stuff. And most likely you share unique information with your search engine without even thinking about it, such as your medical, financial, and personal issues, along with all the day-to-day things that make you who you are. Of course, all those details should be private, but there is a higher chance they are not when using Google, which is the reality, whether we want to, face it or we want to close our eyes to it. On Google, your searches are tracked, and this is not something new. Probably you have heard about that before. There is something called Mine packaged into a data profile for advertisers to follow you around the internet through noisy and bothersome banners ads using Google's massive network platform. And this is embedded across millions of sites and applications that you use through Google. If you wonder, because this term is not new, is new for you, what is data mining? It is analyzing dense volumes of data to find patterns, discover trends, and gain insight into how that data can be used. Data miners can then use those findings to make decisions or even predict outcome for the user. And that is what DuckDuckGo is trying to avoid. Basically what they say, you can look for something online. And when you do that, I don't need to know who you are. I just need to give you the results. In Google, it's backwards. Google will tell you, okay, do you want to know about this? What kind of things you like? So I can give you the same information afterwards and feed you with what I think you need to read or know. So not much choice for you as a user. What does internet tracking do? So trackers record what websites a user visits, how long the visit was, very scary here, and whether there were purchases or not. They may also record what ads you tend to click on. So be very worried when you are clicking in things online, because also that helps building a advertising profile for you as the user of that device. And moving forward, so here we have myths, and these are things that we hear or have heard quite often. And here we have users must be tracked for web searches to make money. Search engines can make money without tracking or profiling because their systems can operate based on the keyword that the person is typing on the search bar rather than the person who is actually soliciting the information. So for instance, when the word car is searched in DuckDuckGo, they can show you as a user the car without knowing anything about the individual searching for this item, and it still benefit economically just by showing that result. The incognito mode, we have heard about that too. What it does is delete your local browsing history after you close sessions on your device. Still, it doesn't do much about stopping any website you visit or preventing Google from tracking your via IP address and other tracking mechanisms like browser fingerprinting, which is something we all are exposed to. Each time you search on DuckDuckGo and if you have been there before, they don't store anything that can tie your searches to you personally, or even tie them together into a search history that will later be linked back to you. So that's a little bit about breaking those myths that we have heard before. Here we have much more things. We have Google tracks you on more than just their search engine. So if you think that Google and Google Chrome were the only places you were tracked, that is not completely true. You might recognize they also track you on YouTube. Yes, YouTube is directly linked with Google. Gmail, we already mentioned a little bit of that. Chrome, which is the browser for Google. Android, most of the Android devices now are designed with a Google interface, and you will see often that search bar right on the first screen of your Android device. You also have Gmaps and other services they run. The ads, these can be irritating and are designed to drive you through targeting to make you buy more things. Even when you don't want to buy anything, the prompt would be to push you into that. Just by showing them to you is pretty much profiting out of your data. DuckDuckGo browser extension and mobile application. So they are available for all major browsers and devices. They block Google trackers along with the ones from Facebook and numerous other data brokers. So Facebook is very much linked to Google, and I imagine you probably are not shocked at this point. And the third thing about this particular browser extension and mobile app is that they do more to protect you, like providing a smarter encryption. Get unbiased results outside the filter bubble. So the filter bubble is that feeding of information a search engine can give you whenever you are looking something online. And more about that. When you search, you expect unbiased results, right? But that's not always what you get on Google. Instead, you actually get results tailored to what they think you are likely to click on or based on the data profile they have built about you over time. And we are going to elaborate a little bit more about the filter bubble so you understand that term. It is especially pernicious in a search context because you expect that you are seeing what others are seeing, and that is not what happened. Studies have shown how people could search from the same topic on Google simultaneously and even in the incognito mode, and found they are significantly tailored to the person. It's a little bit scary. DuckDuckGo is committed to not putting users in the filter bubble unless users explicitly opt in. DuckDuckGo doesn't force people into a local country index, meaning when you go to the search engine, you will find different kind of results, not only based on your location services or the area you live in. Unless you actually want to filter that down, that would be available for you with DuckDuckGo. Search without fear. When individuals think they are being watched, they change their behavior. Everybody does. It is a well-documented behavior called the chilling effect that often happens with Google, believe it or not. Your searches are your business. You should search for what you need online whenever you like. You can easily escape the chilling effect on DuckDuckGo, where you are pretty much anonymous. Have control over your personal information. Privacy policies shouldn't be a default collected all, but instead offer a clear and compelling case of what benefits you from certain information, given the information or personal information you have available. For numerous Google searches, most of the entire first page is marketing or ads. On mobile devices, it can be even worse, and it's true. Not so much on DuckDuckGo. They keep ads to a minimum and are non-tracking ads based on only on search keywords and not on a personal profile or search history. And that is everything on the presentation. So I will now use my iPad to show you a little bit about how you can change your search engine, how you can get, the search engine DuckDuckGo download, and to compare a little bit about the search engines that are available out there. All right, so let me share my screen real fast for the iPad. And I will ask you, once you start seeing the screen, you can show your thumbs up. So I know that you can see the same thing that I'm seeing, and I can go over the examples. All right. Okay, the first thing I will start with, and I hope that at this point everybody can see, please show me your thumbs up if you can. Awesome. Okay. So here is the screen of my iPad, right? And what I can do if I ever want to change my search engine, I can go to settings. And something that I briefly mentioned on the slide is that you have a default browser, and it's the safest you can use. It's called Safari. If you don't know where to find this, when you are taken into settings, all you need to do is just scroll down, being on the left side, and find the word Safari. When you find the word Safari, you are gonna be able to do some changes, and I just miss it. Here it is, okay? So Safari is right here. I will tap over Safari, and then when you open that tab on the left, it will display information on the right. When you want to change your search engine, notice how you have this menu, it's called search, and you can see at the bottom that says Google. You can change that. Search engine, you will tap in this arrow on the right side, tap in there. And here are all the available search engines that you have through your Safari browser. So you can use Google, Yahoo, Bing, the one we just discussed, DuckDuckGo, and Ecosia. So if you want to change to DuckDuckGo, you will just tap over and notice how that check mark is showing up there. So that's good. I would then refer to Safari at the top left, tap in there. And something else that you can disable is the search engine suggestions, because you already select DuckDuckGo here. So the Safari suggestions are not bad because they actually are safe. But if you want to stop receiving search suggestions to prevent any safety issues online, you can use that option. And that is how you can change that search engine. So now I'm going to show you first how Google looks like. And I'm going to use this actual widget that I have here. And I'm gonna tap here to start looking for something online. And I want you to pay attention to how Google looks like, okay? So I'm going to start a new tab. Oh. And if you pay attention, when you come to Google, for example, and you scroll down, it will fit with different things. So here you have thousands of information that not always are helpful to you, but they think are relevant to you based on your previous searches. You also will have here at the bottom, things that you have visited in the past. Again, they are choosing this based on the profile they have created for you. And if you have a Gmail account, most likely you will have your profile indicated by that dot or circle at the top right corner that also can keep associating you in Google for the things that they believe you like. And if you go to that icon, what I did is I just tap in that circle on the top right corner. And when I came here, notice how I have something is called Google services. So Google services are some of the things that we mentioned on the presentation, tools that Google uses to track you not only on the search engine they have, but also on different places. So they will prompt you to sign into that browser, which is Chrome. They will autocomplete your searches and URLs if you want to do that. They will improve by sending statistics about the things that you have or any issues that you encounter when you are navigating the application. So this Google services is one of those things that create a pattern online. If you ever want to disable something of your Google services, you can just tap and it will be a good way to avoid those kind of tracking in different places. You can also find that here at the top, I have an option that is synced. This is something that also Google does. It allows Google to personalize your searches, as it says here, across different devices, whether it's that you use your iPad, your tablet, your Android. If you are signed with the same account, you will be tracked in those different devices. Notice that mine is off. If yours is on, right, it will be something like this. It will keep your data and also combine your data following a email. So this is something I actually don't want to do. So I would tap in cancel there, but it's in order for Google to sync your password, your history in more than one device. And it's very clear, you know, they are not hiding that portion. I will just tap in cancel. Okay. And I'm gonna tap in done at the top right corner. And I'm going to use now, I'm gonna look for Microsoft Bing so you can see how that other search engine looks like. Okay, and Bing homepage. So this is the other search engine. And something common about these search engines are the ads. You see, you have the news feed at the bottom. And if you keep scrolling, you have much more things given to you based on the navigation you have done in the platform. Oftentimes you will find that they will prompt you to sign in if you already have an account. And that is just an example of how the interface of the platform looks like. So when you see DuckDuckGo, you will notice the difference immediately after. Now, I'm going to press my home button and I'm going to show you how to get your DuckDuckGo application download. And you can uninstall that anytime if you ever want to do that. The first thing you should do or go to is your App Store. So I will just tap over the App Store. And when I go to the App Store, I will refer to the bottom right corner and look for my search button. And I will tap over the search button. Oops, that's not something I want. And when I'm in my search bar at the top, it will say games, app stores, and more. I will tap over that and I can then type the name of the application, in this case, DuckDuckGo, that I'm looking for. To find something, you can simply select one of the choices that are being displayed for you, but also use the search button at the bottom in your keyboard. I'm going for the first option at the top. And here I have DuckDuckGo, right? So much like any other application that you want to get on your iPad, notice how it has a get button. And all you have to do is just tap in get, right? Something nice always is checking the ratings of the application, what other people are saying about the application, how their experience has been. And if you want to see more about versions, privacy, and much more details, you can scroll down. Notice that data is not linked to you, or they explain a little bit about usage data and diagnostics. And here it will tell you how many languages is available. So just details for you to pay attention to. And even the developer website, which is the actual company that built the DuckDuckGo application. If that is of any interest to you, you can always check that by tapping in the name of the application. So with that out of the way, I will just tap in Get at the top right corner, and I will press there. So my installation will start. It will prompt me to confirm the installation. If you have a passcode here or any password set up, it will prompt you to either give the ID password, the Apple ID password, or the passcode before it actually get installed. I don't have any of that set up. I just tap install, and it will actually is asking for my Apple ID. Not shocked. So I will just type my Apple ID since it's asking for that. And it's important that you know it, otherwise you won't be able to download it. Sign in. And after it should say done, such as it did for me, and it will continue going around that circle at the top where I press get in the first place. I just need to be patient here until it shows the word open. And when I tap in open, it's gonna actually show me the application. And here it is. Welcome to DuckDuckGo. It will give a brief introduction, right? The internet can be kind of creepy. Not to worry, searching and browsing privately is easier than you think. So you will select in Go. And also it would prompt you like select as your default browser. If you don't want to make that decision right away, you can just select what it says skip, and no problem. So it will take you then to the next portion of it. And here it is. So this is how they do it. Next, try visiting one of your favorite sites. I will block trackers so they can spy on you. I will also upgrade the security of your connection if possible. And if I go look any website, and I always use Cyber Seniors as my main one, it's gonna be way easier to do. And it's gonna look much cleaner. But it's very similar to Google, but less tracking, right? Your DuckDuckGo search are anonymous always. Every now and then we'll give you that kind of thing. And this is pretty much how it is. So it will show you results. As I say, it's very clean. You won't see a lot of ads going on Google. Sometimes you will see at the top of the results page, some pages will have the word or the words AD, which is advertising. And that is how it looks like. So you also have the ability to bookmark and mark favorites, and that is optional. Just, I cannot stress this enough. It's just much more simpler. So that is how you can find new things, and all you have to do is pretty much use the search bar, right? Pretty straightforward. You can also modify things by going to the settings option on the right corner at the top, and it will allow you to set it up as your default browser, add the application to your dock, which is the bar at the bottom of your iPad, add a widget to your home screen, and set it up like a theme, and do many other things. So you actually can access it much easier. I would just tap in done. And much like you do in any other search engine, you will just press in the plus sign to start a new search. And as I mentioned, notice how it's very clean. You won't see any news feed, any advertising, any convoluted screen when you are navigating the application. And if you go to this flame looking icon here beside the close, it will ask you if you want to close your tabs and clear data, meaning whatever you have open at that moment will be disappearing, and that will be it. So there you are, and it start all over. Okay, I will leave it at here. So if you have any questions, we can go over that.